Hi, Clint here, Crimson Landscape. We're here to talk about your outdoor living options. Okay, let me go over to number one. Okay, so based on your feedback, here's what I came up with. So this is a pergola style shade structure, 16 by 16, which is kind of the typical size we like to build. We can do 16 by 16, 16 by 20, 14 by 16. Just do it in increments of 2 feet is what we prefer. It just makes life a little bit easier. So this is 16 by 16, and I got a back wall here, as you can see. So it opens towards the yard. The reason we like doing it, it has to have that pitch right there. That's called the 112 pitch. Because when you put the synthetic glass on top, water has to run off the back. There's two flavors of synthetic glass. One's going to be kind of like your, best way to describe it, one's like your Chevrolet brand-ish. Water may penetrate a little bit. And one's going to be like the high-end Maserati brand. That is guaranteed to stay dry, nice and thick. It's almost like having a metal roof, but it's see-through. It's just a high-quality product. So either one depends on what price range you want to be in and what your goal is. Do you want to stay guaranteed 100% dry, or are you okay with water kind of sneaking in if it comes down to it? Then, of course, we added the steps that go around the space. These steps, so this grade's probably pretty close. I assumed around a 24 to 28 inch difference in elevation. That's about what I guess based on your survey. So it's probably pretty close. And so we have that. This is the living space, and this is a dining space, and of course you have step down. With this one, there's no clear path of like how you get through to connect to the yard. You'd have to walk this way. Does it make sense to move this table closer to the house so you have more of a walk this way? We can make this space a little bit bigger if you wanted to, but just you kind of have to look at this one and see what makes sense for laying out furniture. Again, we want to make sure that we have to have a step down to the yard for safety, especially since you're having a young one around, and for having a dog to be able to get up into the yard. Unless we're going to adjust the yard, the steps are going to be required. We could fade it, like we bring in dirt and fade it. It just means your yard's just going to be steeper. So we try to avoid that, and that's why we try to tier the yard to step down. So this would be option number one. So on the options, shade structure is not going to be a huge difference in cost. So no matter which direction I face it, the shade structure is the shade structure. The cost there is fine. The electrical will be just slightly different because I have to run it a little bit further out, but I'm talking like less than $100. The big difference is going to be the concrete. But we're not talking in terms of thousands of dollars. We're just talking in, well, a couple $1,000s here and there, depending on how the base and how big the space is. But we're not talking $10,000, nothing like that. So this is option number one. So let me go over to option number two. So option number two is going to be just a bigger platform. And I turn the structure. So you see this structure faces to the west. This structure actually faces towards the house, so it opens up towards the house. So you walk out the house, you see the back wall, which is a privacy wall. It almost gives you an architectural detail as well as you look out the back. You see the TV in the middle. We can add speakers back there, lights back there. I can make this middle stone a nice, pretty stone veneer. If you want to look at a real cool stone, I can put where it's just stone in the middle. Get pretty fancy with it. And this is a nice big outdoor living space. So you have the two couches plus the two chairs. This is probably going to maximize seating. It just think about it from this perspective. As you have kids, you have birthday parties, you have friends over, you have play dates, you have family over. You really need more space than I think you need. Is my guess. Just knowing that I've raised 3 kids, I understand that when family comes over at our house, we'll have 50 people at our house. If you have a birthday of 12 kids, that's 12 kids plus their parents. So seating is going to be a premium, so that's why this one adds a little bit more seating. Also added a gap between the house, with these gaps here are called leave-outs in the concrete, so it gives it just a little more of an architectural detail, and I put a brown gravel in it. This is rock salt finish as well. This is probably my favorite of the 3, and you still have the step down here as it steps down in the yard. You can see how the steps fade into the grass. Okay, so that's option number 2. Let me go this way with it. Option number 2, so you can see it. Okay, we go option number 3. So option number 3, I just shortened it. So instead of that walk path there, I just moved everything a little closer to the house. And this one I did a pattern color, and steps still have to have the steps. It's just not quite as close to the fence. The space is not quite as big. Also, for some reason, I don't know how my color magically changed to maroon on the seats. I'm not sure how that happened. since Texas A&M plays LSU this weekend. I guess that just magically happened. But the only difference is the size. So you will save some money on concrete, but we're not talking a huge amount of money. This is what it looks like if you have a pattern concrete, if you want to go a little bit fancier, unless you want the rock salt, of course, which is the first two. The structure is the same size structure. It's a little bit closer to the house. So I'll tell you, my structure is detached. So mine is more like this. So I have when you walk out my backyard, I have a small little patio. Then you cross a walk path like this that kind of connects both sides of the yard. Then you walk onto where my shade structure's at. So if it's raining, I do have to step across in the rain to get to this sitting area. It doesn't bother me at all. So I wouldn't worry so much about it not being connected and that being a big deal. I don't think it's that big a deal to me and how I use it. What I would do is just make sure as you're allocating space for things is don't regret not adding enough space. We could shrink this pad a little bit here if you wanted to, where the living space is. We could shrink the dining pad a little bit. It's just when you're taking into consideration, when you have the pad sizes, you also have to take into consideration as you're moving chairs around. People are sliding chairs in and out. You don't want somebody to slide a chair out and actually step off. If you're too close and step off and hurt themselves, fall down, that kind of thing. So that's why you want a little bit more space when it comes to the steps. All right. Excuse me. All right, so let me pause here. I'll send you these three options. Again, this is number 3. This is number 2. And this is number 1. All right, look forward to your feedback. And if you're a first-time guest seeing one of our videos and you want more information, you can check us out at crimsonlandscape.com.